I'm going to go ahead and press record and go ahead and kick things off. So welcome. If this is your first team call, welcome to the Fit for His Glory Sisters. We usually show up in our sweats and our sweaty clothes from the morning. It is not fancy at all, but hopefully it will just be a really inspiring night for y'all. So my name is Caroline Foster, for those of you who I haven't met, and I am the mama bear of the Fit for His Glory Sisters. We're going to be changing the name to Team Fit for His Glory because we have lots of males joining us as well. And so we kind of feel bad because we call ourselves the Fit for His Glory Sisters. But that hasn't happened yet. I have the logo and everything. I just haven't actually rolled it out. But we welcome you, and we're so excited that you are here tonight. These team calls are so important. And I just want to thank you for being on. I think there's so much the power of this team, and really what we do, so much of it is the community. And, you know, some of us are spoiled because we come from towns where we have lots of friends, or we have big community groups, but some of us come from places where maybe we don't have a lot of community, or, we live in a smaller town, or right now, everybody could benefit from having more community because, we can't really do as much as we used to be able to do. So, I think that that's one of the powerful things about what we do as coaches, is creating this incredible community. And the thing too that makes us different, I will say, even if you come from a place where you have a large community, even if you come from a place where you have, a lot of community, the amazing thing about this, and that makes it so different to me, is we all are passionate about fitness, but obviously our walks with the Lord first. And I think that's just really special. So anyways, we're excited that you are here. And so every Monday night we have these calls, and it's just really powerful to be on live and learn from other coaches. And so tonight we are going to be hearing from Kirby. Kirby has been a coach for just over a year. I think she just hit her 1-year anniversary as a coach. And I remember talking on the phone to Kirby last summer. We were on a road trip headed home from a vacation, and she had 1,000,001 questions, but I knew they were all such good questions that I was like, if this girl says yes, she's going to be all in. So don't get frustrated or overwhelmed by those people with 1,000,000 questions, because those are the people who typically, they just need to think about it for a little bit. And when she signed up, she has just never really looked back. And so it's been such a blessing getting to know her. You will find we called her the meek one on our Diamond Retreat, because when she talks, it's you have to listen. First of all, her voice is just so sweet and beautiful. But then also when she speaks, it's just so full of wisdom. And so I just love her friendship, and I love her heart, and I'm excited for you guys to hear from her tonight. And so Kirby, I'm going to go ahead and throw it on over to you and let you kind of tell more about your story.
Okay, perfect. So I have a little PowerPoint. Will it let me share my screen? Okay, I will try. It's not letting me.
Okay, see if that works now.
Okay. Yes.
Yay. Okay, perfect.
Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. Okay. Can you see everyone's faces on the screen, or just my screen? Can you see my face?
Yeah, we can see your face, and I mean, people can do whatever view they want. You can make it to where you just see you. You can make it to where you can see you plus a few people, or you plus 6 people.
Okay. It's hang on. Okay, there we go.
But we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Well, like Caroline said, I am Kirby, and I am originally from California. Right now, my family and I just recently moved to South Georgia, so that's where I'm coming to you from tonight. And I'm going to kind of touch on the value, the incredible value of the coaching opportunity, how incredible it is to be able to be a coach. And then I'm going to like touch on systems for success. They don't exactly marry together, but when I was talking to Caroline about like what should I share, these kind of topics kept coming up. So I kind of tried to piece them together a little bit, but I feel like sometimes when people, you know, are sharing on things like this, you're like, whoa, like they're awesome. But I'm really not. Like, I feel really humbled to get a chance to share tonight because I don't feel like anyone's special, but I just pray that, you know, something I say might encourage or help tonight. So first of all, I'll share a little bit just about my story. I feel like this is going to be the bulk of what I'm sharing tonight, but I am a wife, and this is my husband in the picture. He is a football coach, so I'm a football coach's wife, and these are my two daughters. Ayla is 3, she'll be 4 on Thursday, and Aria is 1.5. So 2 little girls, that's my family, and I am going to kind of take it back to high school because that's when I first kind of had an experience with Beachbody. I've been an athlete my entire life, and I played soccer, and then I played volleyball, and I ran track in high school. But for volleyball, my coach was also our PE teacher. So during the summer, like for conditioning, whenever he like didn't have a plan for us in the weight room, like he would just throw on a DVD on the wall and we would do P90X workouts. I remember doing the P90X yoga video a lot and just remember dreading those days, to be honest, just because they were so hard. And then sometimes we would also do those in PE class because, again, my volleyball coach was my PE teacher. I had no idea that those were Beachbody workouts, of course, but then looking back, I'm like, oh, no way. Like I used to do those in high school, and those were a huge part of like my training as an athlete, which is really, really cool. And then fast forward to 2014, I had a friend who knew that, I was passionate about fitness, food and faith. And so I think she like sent me Caroline's Instagram via DM and was like, hey, you should follow this girl. Like she, is into faith and fitness. And I feel like, that's up your alley. Like you would really enjoy following her. So of course I did. And she was right. Like I loved following her. I loved just seeing the way that she really kind of married faith and fitness, and she shared like fitness from a biblical standpoint and kind of tied in scripture and talked about how that could apply to your fitness journey. And that was something that I was really craving in my life at that time. A little bit of my background with kind of that, I was an athlete my whole life, and so I was always like fit, but then I started having a really unhealthy relationship with food in college after having a couple of knee surgeries. That for the first time I started just really being afraid of gaining weight, because one of my surgeons, my orthopedic surgeon, just kind of mentioned like when women stop playing sports, sometimes they'll tend to put on a lot of weight, and that is not good because it could delay your recovery and stuff like that. And so he meant well and he was right, but for me the enemy used it as a foothold in my life and just really triggered fear inside of me. And so I began to fear gaining weight, and I started just looking at food differently and looking at my body differently. I always just kind of ate whatever because I was an athlete and it didn't really care, to be honest. I wish I would have. I think I would have performed a lot better if I cared. But so anyways, it kind of started this cycle of defeat where I would be really restrictive with my food and then overindulgent on the weekends, and then feel that guilt and shame come Monday and then starting over. So anyways, I remember always really craving, like, why does the church speak to this topic? Like, I'm really struggling, as a follower of Christ. And I remember just being really encouraged by Caroline's content that, like, oh, hey, the Bible does say stuff about this area of our life. At that time, when I started following Caroline in 2014, I was also, in my struggles with food, I got involved with actually a different network marketing company. And I fell in love with their products. It actually really did help me like learn how to fuel my body correctly. And that's when I began a passion. That was my senior year of college for health and fitness. And so I became a distributor with that company. And I had a couple of friends who, you know, were doing that business, and they were a few years ahead of me in life. And I just really admired the fact that they could do this business while being home with their kids. And that's something that I desired. And so that was just kind of like the vision that I had. So I ended up, you know, building a business with that company for 5 years, and I saw pretty good success with it. I loved it. I fell in love with the network marketing opportunity because, again, I was a former athlete. Like if you tell me to sell pencils, like I'm going to work as hard as I can to sell pencils. Like I'm not very good at anything. I just work really hard at everything that I do. I feel like I'm willing to kind of put in the work to be successful at things. So anyways, I love that about this opportunity, and I'll kind of touch on that too. But kind of fast forward last summer, I ended up, you know, doing that business as a stay-at-home mom. And last summer we found out that company was restructuring. Basically, they were, you know, banned from being a multi-level marketing company anymore. So the entire network that I had built for 5 years, basically I lost most of it. And so it was really devastating, to be honest, because, you know, imagine if you built this business for 5 years, like where Caroline's at, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. I told myself, you know, I was still passionate about health and fitness. I still loved helping people. I honestly still loved the opportunity, but my guard was up, and I was like, I'll never do anything like this again, because it was just really hard, you know, building something and then losing it, like losing your job kind of overnight. But anyways, last summer I was just really, really praying, okay, like, Lord, what is next for me? I knew, again, like God put this passion and desire in my heart to serve women in this area. Like I really feel like he's done an incredible work in my heart and in my life, just in my mind with in my relationship with health and fitness. And that's why, you know, my brand is called Finding Freedom, because I truly do feel like he has helped me to find freedom. And I feel like I want other women to experience that freedom. So last summer, again, I was praying, you know, what do I do next? And I also at the time, you know, was looking for something that home workouts. I was like considering it because I had a gym membership, and I felt like a bad steward of it because as a mom of like 2 little kids, it was like a 20-minute drive, and then you got to get on time to the class. But then I was also nursing, so then like my baby would cry during class and I had to leave, and it just like, it felt so much more stressful than life-giving. And I was like, you know what? Like maybe I'll try home workouts. I was really, really leery of them because, again, I've always been a part of a team. And so home workouts to me, like I always really enjoyed having like a class or like a gym or like CrossFit where it starts at a certain time. There's people there that you show up for. But I was like, you know, I might give this a shot. I heard about Morning Meltdown 100. Being a part of a test group sounded really cool to me. And I was also looking for an opportunity. And I'll kind of touch on, you know, different things that I had considered before, you know, officially signing up in a minute. But that kind of brings me, you know, to becoming a coach and kind of where I am now, obviously a year later. But I hopped into the Morning Meltdown test group last summer, kind of went all in with my own journey. And again, I was like a little bit hesitant about sharing just because, you know, I didn't want to jump into something else so fast. Like I didn't want to be one of those girls that was like doing something and then the next day, oh, she's doing something else. But I really did feel like the Lord was calling me to it. My, you know, heart's desire is to be at home with my kids. And, you know, we threw around the idea like, okay, well, when the kids go to school, like we'll just make it work until they go to school, and then I'll go and get a job, you know, outside the home. And for me, I was just like, well, I really want to do something now so that when that time comes, like I don't have to do that. And so long story short, I ended up becoming a coach and during the Morning Meltdown test group. And that was about a year ago. So here I am a year later. But today I'm going to kind of talk about, and this is all part of my story too, but just like the value of this opportunity. Because, so first of all, I found this quote the other day by Dr. Simon, and it says, not only do we need real, whole, fresh food, but also we need a strong community, meaningful relationships, stable emotional health, consistent exercise, a daily mindset practice. So like for me, I'm always talking about how health is holistic. Like being a coach really is valuable because not only do we get to work like on our own health and fitness, but we get a community, like we get encouragement, we get really that, encouragement to pour into ourselves so that we can be better for our relationships. And then of course, being a coach, part of our daily business activity tracker is personal development. So like mindset and growth. And then of course our team, having that faith focus is so crucial. So that's the first reason why coaching is so valuable. It's because it truly is like the whole package. You get all of that when you decide to be a coach. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the tools that we get as a coach. So when I was like throwing around, the idea of, okay, Lord, like, what do I do next last summer before, officially becoming a coach? I, was thinking about, I tried several other things. Like for me, I don't want to do like a network marketing if I don't love the product. So like I ordered like a starter kit with essential oils and like makeup and stuff like that. And like, it's all great. And I love supporting my friends in that, but it's not me. Like it would feel really like reaching if I had to, or if I chose to do one of those businesses. But for me, like fitness and food and stuff like this, like exactly what Beachbody offers is up my alley. And I just couldn't get that off my mind. So I thought about, going back to school and maybe becoming a dietitian or becoming a personal trainer or even doing like an online certification. And again, like, a lot of those things with where I am in my season of life, like none of those things are wrong. I admire people that go back to school. But for me, I was like, well, I'm trying to pay off my student loans. So it just didn't make sense for me to go back to school in this season of life. And then, if I were to get some sort of like online certification, I looked at, kind of creating my own brand apart from any company. And a website is like $20+ a month. I reached out to this company that helps you kind of create your own app and your own community on their app platform. And I've screenshotted the email that I was going back and forth with this girl last summer. And look, it says you can have a platform on their app where they'll help you develop an app for $389 a month, or $3,890 a year. And I was thinking, okay, no, there's no way. And then I even looked into hiring a business coach. Like clearly I have no idea what I'm doing. So if I'm going to start from scratch and, create a website and create, funnels and an email list and my own like community and my own program, like I'm going to need somebody that's going to teach me how to do this. And so I looked into hiring a business coach. And again, I had phone conversations with a couple of people. And one was going to charge me like $5,500 for 6 weeks of coaching, like business coaching. And then I heard like somebody even mention on like a podcast I was listening to that their business coach charges $20,000 per session just to coach them in their business. And so just like the tools, when I found out, what the tools that we get as a coach, like $15 a month. Well, first of all, a challenge pack to get started. If you go back to the previous slide, like not only do we get to work on our own journey, like in the company that I was with before, it cost like $200 for 24 days of product. And a challenge pack is $160. So it's less than that for a year membership to Beachbody On Demand. Like And then you also get to start your coaching business for that price. So for me, I was like, honestly, I didn't even think twice signing up. Once I like made my decision, I was like, this is an incredible value. Like, I don't think people understand. To become a coach with a challenge pack is amazing. And then the tools that we get a website for $15 a month. We get access to our own community on a private app for $15 a month. And we get mentorship from whoever your sponsor is. And for me, I saw Caroline and I was like, I feel like she's worth $5,000, but I'm getting her for $160. Like, this is a no-brainer because I saw what she had been able to build, and I wanted her to teach me what she had done, if that makes sense. So just like really thinking through, I guess, my story and what kind of led me up to signing up as a coach is just really like realizing, wow, like this really is an amazing opportunity. And then I'm going to kind of transition on how to take this opportunity and make the most of it. So as a newer coach, maybe some tips and some systems that I have been able to kind of put into place that have worked for me over the past year. Again, I'm not perfect, and I feel like, truly humbled that I even get to share on this call tonight, because I don't feel like I have everything figured out, but I do want to share maybe some things that have worked for me. So my tip number 1 is start with prayer. And you can write these scriptures down or you can screenshot them or whatever, but a prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. So never overlook just the power of praying over your business, of praying for God to bring, the women to you that he has for you to serve, and praying for the desires that you have and what you would want for this business to be. Don't overlook starting with prayer. When it comes to content, like if you listen to the National Wake Up Call today, like I really related with her because she was like, I'm like the mouse in the corner. I'm like the ultimate introvert. And I feel like that's me too. Like, I'm not very good with words. It takes me a really, really long time to like process through things, like to write an Instagram post. It takes me like so long just because like I have to really think through it. I'm not great with speaking, or like with words. And so when it comes to like content and like sharing and asking God, like, okay, what would you want me to share? Or what would you want? What would you need somebody else to hear? Something that I love to pray is Ephesians 6:19-20, where Paul is asking, whatever I speak, pray that words may be given to me so that I will fearlessly make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearlessly as I should. As a Fit for His Glory sister, a member of this team, that our mission really is to serve women in health and fitness and point them to Jesus, point them back to the gospel over and over and over, because we need that every single day. And so when it comes to, things to share maybe in your challenge groups or on your stories or even on social media, as you grow your audience, which I feel like I'm still, growing my audience, this is something that is really helpful to pray. And then as far as like coaches and your team, something that I love to pray is Matthew 9:37-38, when Jesus is talking to his disciples. And there's not a lot of times in scripture where Jesus like tells them what to pray. He shows them how to pray, like, Father, my Father who in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. So that's a prayer. But then another time that he tells them what to pray is in this scripture. He says, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into his harvest field. And so that is just something that I love to pray. Like, a year into this business, I have a lot of, clients to serve. And so I have realized, just like something clicked for me, like I can only help so many people, and to further this mission, I need more friends to partner with me, to help me. I need more workers to be able to be sent out into the harvest field out there. Like, so many women need to find freedom in their health and fitness, but like, I'm only one person. I can't have Zoom calls with every single person every single day. So just asking the Lord, like, send the women that you would have, you know, to this team that can lock arms with me so that we can do this together and expand the mission together. And then something else to pray is from Proverbs 38. Keep falsehood, another version says deceit, far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. So my prayer, you know, for this is, you know, if it's going to be big, I pray that it brings you glory. But if it's just supposed to be small, I just pray that it provides my daily bread. You know, my desire to be home with my kids, I pray it provides enough, you know, for me to be able to do that. And then of course, every single day, you know, being bold and having those bold prayers and going for those big things for sure. But always saying, you know, with open hands, like, not my will, but yours be done. So that's my first tip, is to start with prayer. My second tip, Caroline says this all the time, is to commit for a year. And I guess I am a good example of that, because it's been a year and I feel like I'm just now starting to really gain momentum. But it takes time. Like, it takes time to plant seeds. It takes time for them, you know, to be watered and for them to grow. And so, yeah, that's my tip number 2 is, I know we hear it a lot, but like, seriously, don't allow yourself to give up before a year and even after a year, but commit for a year, because you will start to see, you know, the fruit of the work that you're putting in now if you're newer. My third tip and kind of systems for success that have worked for me is to do a free group every single month. So I started doing this pretty much from the beginning. People love free stuff. So if, you know, when you're inviting, it's really, really, I guess, organic and natural for you to invite to something free, because most of the time people are like, oh yeah, I love free stuff. You know, most people don't say no to something that's free. So for me, I just have like an ongoing virtual gym. I call it my fit club. And I just open that up for a week every single month. I just let people come right into my community so that they can see what it's like, try the workouts. They get to see the content that I'm already posting in there. I feel like it keeps it really simple for me. That way I don't have to, like, you know, run an extra group. And sometimes I do, but for the most part, this is like just what works for me. And it's also a great way to kind of add to your email list every month. So I do have an email list. I started it, you know, last year, right before I became a coach, or when I became a coach. And so when I invite people to my free group, I get their email. And then at the end of the month, after the free group is over, like I've been doing this now. So from my August free group, I'm adding those people's emails to my email list, so that when I send out, you know, what's happening in September to my email list, all those free people I'm of course following up in different ways, but like, if they weren't quite ready after the free group, like, that's a great way to kind of keep them in the loop, or kind of keep them in your community, serving them with free stuff. Like, I email free recipes, I email encouragement all the time. And then of course I'm always like inviting in my emails to, you know, whatever I have going on. So that's just like a system that has really worked for me and really been helpful. And I use MailChimp for my email list, but there are a lot of great ones, but that's just what I use. Okay, my fourth tip is just kind of like, and again, when we were talking about like what I should share tonight, we were talking about just, I feel like a strength of mine is consistency. Like, I'm not necessarily like the one with the most Success Club points or the most coaches or stuff like that, but I really do feel like I am consistent, and I think that's really helpful in just serving my members. So, you know, when they become a member, I have like a pretty standard email that has a Fit Club guide that Shay put together in Canva. So if you don't have that, let us know and we can get that to you, and you can kind of tweak it and make it your own. But just a really great way to help somebody get started. And then once they go through that, then I do a Zoom call with them. I know that not all coaches do this, but I at least offer it. Not all of my, you know, new clients or new members will, you know, book a call, but if they want to, I I offer it just because I want to help them get started, make sure that they have a program to start with, make sure that they know, where to find Shakeology recipes and all of that. I feel like, putting in that work on the front end really helps them to trust you and to stick around when you're really pouring into them in the beginning. And then I send a weekly email to my members, and that includes like the meal plan for the week, kind of what's going on in our community, Bible study is on Wednesday at 1:30, stuff like that. And I think that really helps me to just have that touch point really consistently and really serve them really well. They don't always answer, but most of the time when they finally do answer back, they're like, I'm sorry I haven't emailed you back in a couple weeks, but thank you so much for keep continuing to check in, like I'm still here. And then a text app that I love and that I use, I wouldn't say I love it, I mean it's not like awesome, but it's free, and it's called Group Text. So it allows you to send a group text but individual. So you're sending one text, but it comes to each person individually, so it makes it more personal. Like it makes them feel like you're texting them personally. So I send a text every single week to my members. Usually after I send the email, I'll just be like, hey, check your email. Or sometimes it'll be a different time, throughout the week. I'll send them like just a word of encouragement, or hey, how are you doing? Or even just like a song that I listen to on Spotify, like listen to this song, it'll encourage you. But that is just like, some systems that have really helped me stay consistent in serving my clients every single week. So I hope that helps. Tip slash.
Sorry to interrupt. There was just a question. Someone asked about your group text really quick, and I was just going to say, they about, does it send as an iMessage or as an SMS? Because I think everybody's like really curious about that.
An iMessage, unless they don't have an iPhone. Just sends it from my phone number. I'm sure there are a lot of other things out there. Most things I've looked into, you have to pay for them though. So I think there's one called Community that's newer that you can pay for, but Group Text is free. And so I guess kind of going back into systems, every single Thursday, because that's when like a new week starts for us, I go in and I add my new members' emails to my member email list on MailChimp, and I add their phone number to my group text. It just makes it like really simple and easy. So like it doesn't feel so overwhelming to check in with people. Like, on Fridays, I don't do this every week, but before the sip and sweat on Saturday, I just have to create one text, and I can just send. And it sends it to them individually, like, hey, our sip and sweats tomorrow, would love to have you on. Like it just takes me like 2 minutes, but every single person gets an individual text. So it's really cool. I mean, I think it creates that personal touch without creating more work. And then serving my new coaches, I send them the Google form that is in our team Google Drive. I like tweaked it to make it my own, but I have them fill that out. And then once they do, I do a getting started call again on Zoom, just kind of like I do with my clients or members. And then now that we have the new coach mentorship, after they're getting started right call, I'm going to have them be plugging them into the new coach mentorship. So I feel like that's a really, really good system that I'm really excited about, even though we just started that today. But I think it's going to be really, really good. So yeah, do you guys have any other questions so far? I can't see the chat. I'm not sure.
So there's a question. It says, do you run the free group on Facebook? What type of content do you add in that group?
Yeah, so I've done different ones. It kind of depends on if I'm teaming up with somebody or not, but honestly, just to like keep it really simple and like seamless, and again, it's like just a really good system that I feel like works for me, I just add them to my ongoing virtual gym on the BOD app. And then if they end up signing up and, becoming a member, I just leave them in there. And then if they don't, I just remove them after the week is over. And that way I can get their email, and then I can add it to my email marketing if, they don't end up signing up, so that I can continue to like follow up that way. And in other ways too, like on Instagram, another system that I do is I have a collection on Instagram. So when I have a collection that says Spirit Week or my free group, so those are people that have said yes and that are in there, and I know I need to follow up with. So yeah, I have that on Instagram as well. But as far as content, I just share the Spirit Week content that's in the Google Drive. So I share a devotion in the morning, and then the content for the day, like the September 2020 content. I share that for the day. It's just what I would normally share in my ongoing virtual gym. It's just that people just get to come in and just see what I'm already doing. So it doesn't create more work for me. It's just adding people into the community for free for 1 week. And I get them the free workouts. I get them the free meal plan for the week. And I have a pretty good, I guess like from August, for example, let's say, I think I had like 10 people do the free group or Spirit Week. And I think out of the 10, maybe 2 or 3 signed up. So it's like, not like 100%, but it's pretty good. I think.
Kirby, people are asking if they have to sign up for the Beachbody free membership in order to access that, or can you send anyone a BOD group invitation?
You can send anybody a BOD group invitation. They just have to create a login, but they don't have to put like their card in or anything. So I feel like it's pretty simple. But again, like one quote that I love is, eat the fish, leave the bones. Like if this is something that I think Patrice does this, and I heard it. And so I was like, I'm going to try that. And it's just like worked for me. But if that doesn't work for you, then it's okay. Maybe take, some things that have worked for me, eat the fish. But if it's like, oh, I don't think that would work for me, then leave the bones and don't do it. If that makes sense. Any more questions about that? I can't see the chat, so, or maybe I can.
People are just saying this was so helpful so far.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
They're loving it.
I'm not like super techy, so I don't even know where the chat is. Sorry. As you can tell, like my PowerPoint is like minimal. I'm not very decorative at all. Like words, I don't know.
Oh, this is great. Someone just asked, do you email the link for the free workouts?
I do several things. So I post a file in my virtual gym, and I just like when they say they want to do Spirit Week, the free group, I send them an email. So if you want, like I can copy and paste that email to you, or I can post it in the team page. It just kind of walks them through like, welcome to Spirit Week. This is how it will work. Request to join the group here. Click this link. This is the devotion we're doing this week, or something like that. And then I will give them the Vimeo links to all the sample workouts in that email. Like, hey, there's a file in the group with links to the workouts, but if those don't work for you for whatever reason, here are the Vimeo links instead. So I kind of give them options. And then I also do I attach the meal plan to that email? Yeah, I do. But I also post it in the file section of the BOD group. I love BOD groups, y'all. I know some people don't, but again, like before becoming a coach, I thought about developing my own app. It was going to cost me almost $4,000 a year. So like BOD groups is amazing to me because I'm like, this is everything that I wanted to do. It's just like somebody else made it and I only have to pay $15 for it. But okay, moving on. This is my last slide. So I'll leave you with this. Just 3 promises for when you feel stuck or discouraged. So wherever you are tonight, maybe you're a new coach and you feel overwhelmed, or maybe you are a couple months in and you miss success starters, or maybe you feel like you haven't quite advanced to where you would want to be by now. Or maybe, I don't know, wherever you are, maybe you're rocking it. Know that there will be a time where you do feel stuck and you do feel discouraged, especially, if you do take our advice to commit for a year or more. Like there's going to be a time during that year and beyond where you are going to feel a little bit discouraged. So just wanted to leave you with some encouragement tonight, with 3 promises or 3 things to just encourage you. Like, I love this graphic. It's pretty like cliche, but people think that success looks like a straight line, but really it's like start, sign somebody up. Oh, just kidding. They never responded. Oh, okay, sign up coach. Oh, they canceled their account. Oh, okay. You hit success starters month 1, and then that next month, like, nobody's answering your messages. That's what success, that's the path that it really does look like. So when, you are on that crazy spirally line to get to where you want to go, just remember Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So just trusting, like, his timing is better than mine. To be completely transparent, I think I hit Emerald in like a week and a half, or like I became coach and it was like 2 weeks later. And so it was pretty fast. And so I was like, yeah, let's do this. And honestly, I thought I would be diamond like way faster than I have. So I am like with you in that, like maybe feeling like it hasn't happened as fast as maybe you wanted. But just remember, like, put in the work, surrender the results, and trust his timing. And ultimately, like, we're here to serve women and to overcome the evil that's in the world with good, with truth, with encouragement, with the gospel, with, these incredible programs and products and community that we have. So just keep doing good. And then the second one, a verse that I love is 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. So, as believers, as followers of Christ, nothing that we do is in a box. Like, our ministry is not just over here on Bible study night or on Sundays. Like, it truly is everything that we do, including this business, like including the way that we serve. So stand firm and don't let fear move you. Don't let discouragement move you. Don't let your feelings of, frustration or wanting to give up, don't let those move you. Let's always give ourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because no matter what happens, this month or last month, our labor in the Lord is not in vain. So just remember that, like, we really are serving the Lord in what we do, and it's never in vain when we're doing that. And then last one, Hebrews 6:10. God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help them. So we are showing love to him when we help his people. I love the analogy, like, if somebody were to come over with Starbucks in their hand and a bouquet of flowers, and like knocking on my door, like, Kirby, I wrote this poem for you and I want to give it to you. But my kids were in the driveway, and like one had fallen and like hit her head, and like the other one was, had red ants crawling all over her, and then that person just like walked right by my kids and came up to me and was like, here, let me write this poem to you. I think that's how we are with God sometimes. We're like, I love you, God. But really what our job is on earth is like to show love to his people. And that's really what we're doing even here in this business. So just remember, like, he remembers everything. He's not going to forget the work that we do when we just love people. And like 1 Corinthians, love never fails. So if you just wake up in the morning with your main goal to just love people and encourage them, point them to truth, like, that is not in vain. And he will remember that we have loved him by helping his people and continuing to help them. So that is all I have. Am I back to just regular Zoom?
Yes, Kirby, this was absolutely amazing. And I'm so glad that you shared tonight, because, I know that you're like, well, I'm still new, but you have so much wisdom. And I mean, you hit the nail on the head. And I think it's good for new coaches to hear from you, because like you're in the trenches too, and so I think that it's just really powerful. And even the encouragement around like just being consistent. And that's what we talked about last week, right? Like, it took me 6.5 years to get to where I am in the business. And so I think like just staying in your lane and not comparing your journey to other people. And all of us are going to be different. All of us come into this with different circumstances and networks and experiences and just so many things. So I just think it's really, really good what you shared tonight. Does anybody have any questions? You can drop it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself, whatever works best for you.
I saw somebody said, Dana said, did you have any challenge with getting people to move from Facebook challenge group to pod group? Um, I never had anybody on Facebook, um, but I have, I again, you kind of just have to know your people. Like, I feel like if there may be like an older generation, like upper 20s, early 30s or more, like maybe Facebook would work better for them just because like apps are not necessarily up their alley. But I just started with my challenge tracker when it was that, and then I switched over to bod groups whenever they came out with that. So that's what I did. But one thing that could work is that group text app. Just add all your people to that, and then be like, just like a reminder, like, hey, don't forget if you want to do a bod group. Again, you do not have to. That's just what I do, and I love it. But just like a great way, just different touch points. So I have my weekly email, and then I have like the personal texts, and then of course I have the community on bod group. So like serving them in the community, but then also personally, I try to do as well. So is that helpful? Okay. Brooke said yes, please on that email. What email are you talking about? Spirit Week? Yes. Okay. I'll put it in the team page. Um,
Any other questions?
what else? Emily said that Canva bod group guide is incredible. Yeah, Shay created it. It is amazing. It's something that was like on my to-do list, but like I never quite got to it. When she made it, I was like, thank you. Like that is why I love this team, because like we create things and we share it. It's like not as detailed. My Spirit Week email is not as incredible as Shay's thing, but I'm very happy to share it.
Yes, before you ever make something, please like go to the team page, search for it, like ask other people before you start making something, because chances are there's like 10 other versions of it. And there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. I spent a lot of time, wasted a lot of time doing that. So there's tons of resources on the team page, and then also in our Fit for Glory Sisters Google Drive, which all of our coaches pop their stuff in there. So I texted Shay and was like, can you put all those resources in there? They might even be in there, but just so that everybody has them. Well, thank you so much, Kirby. This was amazing. And we're just so thankful for you. And we're thankful that, God pulled some heartstrings and you said yes, and you joined us as a coach because you're such a gift. So we're so thankful that you poured into us tonight. But I'm going to go ahead and take some time. I'm going to just pray really quick over y'all's week. And then I want to take a quick little picture, and then I'll let you guys go. Heavenly Father, God, thank you so much, Lord, for these incredible women and just the gift that they are. God, thank you so much for Kirby and just how special she is to us, God. I'm thankful for her wisdom and her words. She says she's bad at words, and she is so not bad at words. It's actually her gift, Lord. And I just thank you so much for her and just her gentle spirit, God, and just how you spoke through her tonight, God. Lord, I know that she is such an encourager to so many women, and so I just thank you for her. God, I just want to pray over her business and her family. God, we know that they just took a big leap of faith by moving and taking this new job, and God, I know that it is exhausting and hard and just really stretching them. But God, I just pray for just immense blessings over them, God, as they've taken this step of faith and put their yes on the table, that you would just show up big in her business, God. I just pray that you would just continue to bring the women, God, that you would give her the eyes to see and the ears to hear, God. And just give her continued fresh vision in this business, Lord. God, I pray that same thing for over all of these women tonight, God. Maybe they're exhausted because they were trying to hit Success Club, but it's not going to happen. Or maybe they're trying to finish the month strong and they did, but they're worn out, God. Or maybe they're just gearing up for a new month and they've got a lot on their plate between their full-time job and coaching and the family. God, I don't know where they're at, God, tonight, but Lord, I just pray for comfort and peace, God, and just a reminder that you hold this business in the palm of your hands, God, and that you care about the details and you care about them, God. And so, Lord, I just pray that you would just help us to let go and just to resurrender something that's already yours, God. I pray that we would stop trying to work through our own power, but God, that we would just surrender that over, God, and allow you to show up in our weakness, because that's when we grow through this, and that's when our faith grows, and that's when our trust grows, God, when we just let go and allow you to work. And so I just pray for these women that this week they would just put their yes on the table, and that you would just provide in ways that they didn't even know was possible, God. Lord, we love you so much, and we just thank you so much for an incredible night. So thank you for bringing them here to this place. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Thank you guys for being on. I'm going to take a really quick picture, and then I will let you guys go. Of course, it's 2 pages, so I'm going to have to make one of 2 pages. So everybody smile. Oh. Yay. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being on, and I hope you have an amazing night. Thanks again, Kirby. I love seeing Maggie and all her peeps and all there together. Hey, guys.
Say what's up, Starkville.
Oh, Brian said, hey, what's up, Starkville?
Hey!
That's amazing.
You just can't see her.
We need to all be on y'all's level.
Oh, no, we're on here trying to be on y'all's level.
Oh, we're the boring life. You're in college. Enjoy your life.
No, we're all studying right now as we watch it, but we got the message.
You got the message. You took the notes.
I will say, y'all, so y'all are in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you heard the part about where, like, I had a different business before I did this one. But, like, I started that when I was in college, my senior year of college. And, like, it was such a blessing because I was like, I don't have to drive across town to go to the mall to get a part-time job while I'm in school. Like, I could just do this. So, doing great. And it's worth it.
Dude,
And I'm really, really thankful I did that.
I texted Keely one day because, like, in my old job, I managed college students, and she told me how much she was making in a month, and I divided it by, like, because our college students made like $12 an hour, which is like pretty average. But I like divided it out, and I was like, Keely, you would have to be working a 40-hour-a-week job to make what you're making as a coach in like little cracks of your day, because she was in college when she started this, and she's still in college, I guess. But do y'all know who Keely is?
Yes.
Okay.
We're kind of purpose partners.
Okay, yeah.
We're not like really consistent with it just yet because we've both been like transitioning. But
yeah,
I think
life crazy.
We're gonna like really connect more.
Yeah, no, dude, I wish I would have started this business when I was in college. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, it really has worked out as far as like, well, I mean, at the very beginning of coaching, it's not like you're making a whole lot or anything, but we're like, if we can just keep pushing through.
Find it out.
It's hard to find a job anyways.
Yeah.
So we're like, we'll just keep doing. We're there talking about it right before the call.
Yeah, do like some fun events like study, like before finals, like energize and study, or like do a workout and like give people energize and then work out and then be like, okay, now go study for finals or something like
It
that.
really has been fun as well. Like, we just have friends over all the time, just come to the workouts. Like, it really has been really fun.
Well, the National Wake Up Call, she started, or that's how she first heard of Beachbody, was her friend from college was doing the workouts in the basement. So you never know who you're going to inspire. They might be a 9-star diamond one day.
And that would be awesome. We'll be here for that.
It's true. Well, y'all have a good night. Thanks for being on. Y'all are awesome.
What's up, Noah? I see you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.